Alrighty then, everybody. This is the EpicGamingGuru, and this time I got more of a crazy, interesting video to talk about here. This time I have an entire video based on which platform would be the best for streamers, and that would be Trovo versus, I was about to say YouTube, Trovo versus Twitch. And to be 100% honest, even though I'm kind of buzzed right now, this is a very interesting video and topic to talk about because I have a huge history with both, one lasting for longer than 5 to 6 years, while the other one has been less than 5 months. So yeah, this is going to be pretty wild, so let's get right into it. Ironically, I did actually stream on Trovo in the past, even though it wasn't really a significant amount, and I've already did make a video covering about Trovo and about a lot of the problems that Trovo has. But from what I've seen, Trovo has literally made itself look like a goddamn devil compared to the God-sent miracle of what TikTok was. In fact, at this rate, I would believe that TikTok should have received less of a ban when it came to the west side of things compared to actual Trovo, where the whole entire platform is literally a gambling website, just with an entire stream liable to cover it up. Now, what I mean by stream liable is the fact that the entire website literally depends on streamers to put money into their site to be able to let their viewers actually try to earn money themselves. Try to process that. That's kind of the whole reason I'm buzzed right now, because this was a video that was inspired and recommended by YouTube to make, but I mean, I don't understand how it would be a recommendation, because if Twitch looks bad, Trovo is literally the Hitler when it comes to actual streaming platforms. Like, I don't understand how that website is even legally allowed within the west side of websites compared to any other website in existence right now, especially when it comes to live streaming. Now, everything I literally just said may sound over exaggerated. Like, how in the world could there possibly exist an actual website that basically makes streamers put in money for their viewers to be able to earn? But Trovo basically has done that. They've literally made an entire website that's completely based around gambling. I don't even understand how YouTube would even think that would be able to make an inspiration video based around this. Like, it's kind of a really weird thing to even allow their AI to show me an actual inspiration title, such as Trovo versus Twitch. Like, if I were to put it into just simple conclusions here, Twitch has them by the balls. Like, seriously, like, Twitch doesn't even require you to put any money into their site. You're required to do a lot of work to make your live streams entertaining, valuable, and everything else for your community, but the thing is that that's every platform. It's not just based around Twitch when it comes to that. So the fact that Trovo requires an actual streamer to even put money into their site is already a negative flag by the highest standard. Imagine needing to put hundreds of dollars into a website just to be able to make your own channel grow. Like, I don't even know how to process this. This is as dumb as it could possibly get. Since I've already put Trovo as the first part of this title, I'm gonna have to talk about them first for obvious reasons. Now, the way it works with Trovo is that there are two separate sets of currency. There is Elixir and then there is Mana. Elixir requires an actual streamer to pay into it or a viewer to pay into it in order to be able to earn Elixir, while Mana is slowly earned over time, such as what Twitch would have with channel points. The more simple way of looking at it is that Elixir is basically bits from Twitch, while Mana is basically channel points. However, there starts to be a little bit of a gray line between the two, because you're able to use Mana to earn Elixir off streamers, which is through treasure boxes if they have that feature unlocked. Which is rather interesting, because it is a good way to try to convey your viewers to be able to watch your stream, because you're offering them basically money through a chip currency system at that point that they have a chance to earn off the treasure box for fulfilling whatever request there is within the treasure box. If that is not gambling 101, I don't know what is. If that is not enough to convince you that is basically gambling, well, they even have a fortune spin, which is basically a roulette system that you can spend Elixir on in order in hopes of getting even more Elixir, or you just end up winning Mana, which basically doesn't even have any form of currency or value into it. I don't know how to defend this website. I'm lost for words right now. Yeah, trying to defend Trovo is basically impossible. They make it incredibly hard to come up with anything positive to say about that website. I would not ever recommend Trovo as a live streaming service to actually be able to try to grow a channel. If you really want to grow a channel, honestly, I would just start with YouTube. YouTube is probably the best starting point to be able to grow any form of content channel or whatever type of brand you're trying to make. But the thing that I find absolutely ridiculous is that Trovo gets significantly worse, which I didn't even know was physically possible. Trovo literally tried to copy and paste everything the Discord did and tried to make it even worse. In fact, I talked about this already in a previous video way long ago when it involved Trovo, but the thing that I never really talked about is what the great detail is of how much they copy. It is insane. The amount of stuff they copy from Discord to Trovo is absolutely nuts. I am surprised that Discord themselves have not even came up with a liable lawsuit to be able to shut down Trovo for having such a complete copy and paste of their entire platform. In fact, if I did a side-by-side comparison, both platforms are significantly the same. I can literally see that they are both the same exact concept, copied and pasted right off the bat between the two. And yes, you can only access this through Trovo's website, but the thing that I find absolutely ridiculous is that it's blatantly Discord. That's not even the worst of it when it comes to live streaming. When it comes to Trovo, it gets even worse, if you could believe that or not. It's hard to believe that Trovo has even still been active after all these years. I find it very disturbing that somehow this website has flown under the radar for being the most suspicious website there's ever been, because the whole thing and the whole entire website itself is basically a live streaming scam. I can't even prove that it's basically a scam, because in order to be able to keep your VODs, clips, and whatever else you have on Trovo, guess what? You have to pay Elixir. But guess what? Elixir is not a free form of currency, so you will have to constantly be paying in order to be able to keep your VODs and clips on the website. And if you want to have more storage space for VODs and clips, you have to pay a lot more. You have to constantly rank up your own channel, which costs Elixir, and it's only for a temporary set amount of time every single time. Imagine if Twitch did something similar like this. Like, yes, Twitch doesn't let you hold on to VODs or anything as such for a very long period of time, but there are options when it comes to Twitch. You could just move your videos somewhere else. You can move your videos into a separate save file. You can move your videos onto YouTube. You can move your videos into like its own form of a format, such as Google Docs or anything like that. There are options. You have options. You literally have options with Twitch to move any form of VOD you've had and just move them towards any other type of website. You literally do not have to have your VODs constantly on Twitch. So the fact that Trovo charges just to even have VODs and clips, let alone clips. Clips are a very small amount of data that's on a website. So I really do not understand why Trovo needs to charge for something so simplistic. I'm still trying to process why YouTube thought it would be a fantastic idea for me to make a video that involves Trovo versus Twitch. That's kind of ridiculous. Like, if I were to compare the two, as I said before, Twitch just has it by the balls. Like, there's no other way to describe it. Like, Twitch doesn't try to charge you. They don't try to charge you to hold VODs. They don't try to charge you to hold clips. They don't try to charge you on any form sense of like making your own private Discord, let alone on its website itself that's a blatant copy. Like, I can't think of a single positive motive thing to say about how Trovo does anything at this rate that it makes sense as to why I completely dished out that entire platform and even deleted my account off it. That entire platform is basically a blatant, living, breathing scam. I'm already getting to the near point of ending this video, everybody. I know that I probably could have actually talked about Twitch a little bit further, but to be 100% honest, if I were to compare Twitch and Trovo, it's kind of ridiculous. Like, I find that to be a really pointless kind of thing to talk about, because Twitch doesn't like outright ask you for money on their platform. They don't ask a single streamer to pay them a certain sum. This can be technically spoken for though when it comes to subscriptions, where they'll take about a 50% cut, but honestly the subscriptions are very basic when it comes to like any form of business standpoint. Like, I mean, Twitch has to make money. They have to charge a certain amount for subscriptions. They're not going to be able to make much money otherwise, and that says the same thing when it comes to their advertisers. Now, the funny thing is about that, I forgot to mention that technically Trovo doesn't have any form of advertisers that bother any form of live streams, but at the same time, you'll be basically paying tooth and nail trying to survive on Trovo. So with that being said, the only logical platform I could think of that would be a fantastic start for anybody starting out would be YouTube. So either way, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you all enjoyed this like huge long-term rant that I have about Trovo. I know that I basically pinpointed every single problem that was wrong with Trovo at this point, and to be 100% honest, I'm very glad that I never went back into that platform, and I'm never planning to go back. So either way, hope you all enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it that much, and I'll see you all in the next one.